Demon Slayer Season 4 is a bad idea. You heard me right. With the information we have now, I don't think it makes for a good season. What led me to this conclusion? Well, first off, we have to talk about Season 3. Don't worry, it'll make sense in a little bit. So Season 3 was the least popular season of the show, scoring lower on both MyAnimeList and IMDb. But don't get me wrong though, it's still rated very highly, but there are definitely people who felt a little disappointed. And there's a couple reasons for this. Coming off the back of Season 2, Season 3 lacked the same action and storytelling that the fans were expecting. Not only was Season 3 shorter, the main antagonists were very lackluster in terms of impact. The way the battles were framed made Upper Moons 4 and 5, mainly 5, seem weaker than Upper Moon 6. The entire cast of Season 2 was almost wiped, whereas everyone came out mostly okay in Season 3. But we're not here to talk about power scaling. I have a separate video on this topic if you want to check that out. Pacing was the biggest issue for Season 3, and that'll be the same problem Season 4 will have to deal with. As far as we know, Season 4 is only the Hashira training arc, hence the title of the season. This arc lasts 9 chapters. Guess how many chapters Season 3 was? By the way, Season 3 was 11 episodes. Episode 11 was a double-length episode, so you could consider it to be 12 episodes in length. Have a guess on how many chapters Season 3 is yet? And the answer is 30 chapters. The Entertainment District arc comes in close at 31 chapters. I think you can see what the problem here is. If the Hashira training arc is 9 chapters, how are we expected to get a season's worth of episodes with just 9 chapters? Here are some theories that I have for Season 4. First off, they could stretch the arc out to include more world building and character development. Like I said earlier, the biggest gripe of Season 3 was how little we knew about the main antagonists. They're Upper Moons, but the lack of backstory made people care less about them than Rui, the spider demon from Season 1. So Season 4 can make up for it by going in more depth with the Hashiras than what the manga had to offer. It was very interesting to learn more about Muichiro's character and see his development in the last season. But this brings us back to the slow pacing issue. Sure, I know there are people who want more from their favorite Hashira, but I don't think this will get people on the edge of their seats thinking, oh man, I sure can't wait till we get more backstory next week. Let's say fans are okay with a slower season. That still doesn't make up for the fact that there's only 9 chapters worth of source material to work with. And here's where the next theory comes into play. So we all know Naruto, right? Famous not only because it's Naruto, but also for its fillers. Demon Slayer can very well take a page out of that book and add some fillers to the season. But unlike Naruto, I think these fillers will be canon. Like most other series out there, Demon Slayer has official fanbooks. 2 in fact. Inside these fanbooks are extra illustrations, stories, and lore tidbits. These things are usually exclusive to the fanbooks, but sometimes we get some of them animated as OVAs. I think you see where I'm going with this one. There are many interesting stories to tell about the main cast along with answers to the world of Demon Slayer, and it's possible we can see these animated in the coming season. However, as interesting and informational this would be, we still haven't solved the problem with the balance of pacing and action. These stories are low stakes and slower in pace, kind of like slice of life. Now the last theory is the most normal and regular, albeit boring one. But it does solve our main issue, and that is to just animate the next arc as well. But there's a problem with that. Minor spoiler warning. Following the Hashira training arc is the final arc of the series. That means there's going to be plenty of action, right? Well, what's the problem? Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of animating just a part of the final arc. Keep in mind we'll have to wait at the very least 3 or 4 months before the anime picks back up after the end of a season. I much prefer having the final arc being animated all at once. For example, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. If the show decided to stop halfway through the Shibuya arc, it would leave a sour taste in many people's mouths. Being left with a cliffhanger is not something I want. But if we do get this cliffhanger, what do you think a good stopping point for the season would be? And I could very well be the minority here, not wanting the final arc to be adapted in the same season. So how would I do it instead? Well, I wouldn't make Season 4 the training arc. But that doesn't mean I'd skip it altogether. Since it's so short, this could easily be made into 2 or 3 OVAs. I'm not a big fan of that either. Most people, me included, consider OVAs as something extra and usually non-canon. That leads to people being either not aware of them or just skipping them altogether. Alright, I've done a lot of complaining, but haven't offered many solutions. Well, here's what I would have done. You know what other arc is about the same length as this one, clocking in at 13 chapters? That's right, the Mugen Train arc. And that arc was originally adapted into a movie. The pacing was good, the build-up didn't take too long, and the fights were amazing. There's probably not a single person who didn't like how the movie was handled. So I think we can all agree that this would be a great alternative to our issue here. Adapting the arc without drawing it out, and saving the final arc for a continuous release. As appealing as this alternative sounds, the fact is, the studio announced that the upcoming arc will be a new season and not a standalone movie. We'll have to see how they handle the adaptation. I'm guessing they'll go the safe route, which is animating part of the final arc. Hopefully, it won't leave us on a big cliffhanger at the end of the season. Of the theories I've discussed, which one do you think is most plausible to happen? Or, if you have other thoughts on how the studio should work around the lack of material, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, Wong Diggity out.